Hi girls, it's Diana. I'm back with another recipe. The next thing I'm going to show you, recipe that I'm going to share with you, is my homemade mashed potatoes. Shame on you if you use stuff out of a box for Thanksgiving. Everything about Thanksgiving means homemade. So I'm going to show you my quick, easy way for mashed potatoes. They're super easy. Let me show you how to do them. What we're working with is milk. I have about 2/3 of a cup of milk. I think it's 2/3, 3/4 maybe. I'll let you know. I'll put it on the screen. This is half a cup of mayonnaise, some butter, and then some potatoes. I've cubed them. I've peeled and cubed them. It doesn't matter what kind of potatoes you get. I prefer using these Idaho potatoes, or I guess they're russet potatoes. These are the best in my opinion. You can use whatever kind of potatoes you like though. So we're going to quarter these. However, they don't have to be the same size because we're going to end up mashing them anyway. So I got already a pot with water boiling here. I'm going to put them in and try not to burn myself. Success. So there we go. And salt the water a little bit. A little bit of salt. And you're going to let them boil until they are fork tender. Alright, potatoes are all done. They're fork tender. Alright, so the mashed potatoes have been drained. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 tablespoons of butter. You could pretty much eyeball it. That's what I do. I have 3/4 cup of milk that I'm going to add. And you want to slowly add it because you want to see, so I'm left with 1/3. You want to see what suits your potatoes here. I'm going to salt it. If you're one to over salt things, what I do to measure my salt is I just pour a even amount of salt over the top. That's kind of how I gauge my spices. That's how I personally gauge them. That was some garlic powder, black pepper, as much as you like again, and my mayonnaise. If you are not a mayonnaise lover, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but if you're not a mayonnaise lover, one thing that could also fluff up your potatoes is cream cheese. Bring it to room temperature. I'd say maybe 1/3 of a brick of cream cheese. Judge it. Be the judge. You be the judge. We're gonna start with that for now. I'm left with about that much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bean masher to it. My friends always make fun of me because I call this a bean masher. It's a bean masher in my house. It's a potato masher in other houses. You're going to take to it and mash them. Mash them really good. Alright, so this is what we have when we mashed them. You want to check the consistency of them, make sure there's no big clumps in there. If there's any big clumps in there, you're going to want to mash them. I personally like the way homemade mashed potatoes are when they're a little bit clumpy, not much. It looks like these ones are a little bit dry, so I'm going to add the rest of my mayonnaise. And I'm going to add a little bit more milk. Might as well add the whole thing. I only have, so I used 3/4 of a cup of milk. I'm going to stir it again. Alright, so here is the dilemma. And I'm glad this happened to me because I can show you how to fix it. I've made them, I added all of the milk, and now my mashed potatoes are too runny. The consistency of them is not, well, I guess it's not horrible, but I would prefer them. I mean, they don't fall off the fork. I guess they're okay in that sense. I guess they're okay. I thought they were a little bit too runny. That's why you want to add your milk gradually. Your milk and your ingredients, you want to add them gradually, just to make sure that it's not going to make them too runny. But if you fall in this bind like I did, this will be your friend. And I'm not saying to not make them, you know, homemade or whatever, but nobody will ever know that you added instant mashed potatoes to your mashed potatoes. So you're just going to add a little bit because you don't want them to get too dry, otherwise you're going to have to deal with the whole milk issue again, and adding milk and whatnot. It's going to be a nightmare. So all you're going to do is just incorporate them. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. Aren't you happy I gave you that trick? It's happened to me more than one time, on more than one occasion. See? There. A little bit thicker. No one will ever know. Your secret. There's still chunks of potato in there, so they'll be a hit. What you want to do now is, once you see your desired consistency, you want to taste it. Needs a little bit more salt. Again, you don't want to oversalt your potatoes. A little bit more garlic. Maybe a little bit more mayonnaise, but the creaminess I think is perfect, and that's really all you're using the mayonnaise for. Cooking one-handed is really hard. So there you go. Let me taste it again. Perfect. A little bit more garlic. If you like garlic in your mashed potatoes, and the salt in them is perfect. There you go. Homemade mashed potatoes a la Diana. Enjoy! Alright, so I have a little confession to make. I don't make everything homemade on Thanksgiving. The only thing I really do think is worth cheating on is gravy. If you want, you can make your own gravy, but I think the gravy from the can is just as well, just as tasty. I've tried making the gravy myself, and it never comes out the way I like it to. It's either too salty, or I don't make enough. Some people make it with the juice of the turkey. If you want to, knock yourself out. I like popping open a can of turkey gravy that's just as good, and it saves time. So that is my recipe for mashed potatoes. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it comes out, Amanda, and anybody else that wants to try it. I know they're mashed potatoes. Pretty much everybody knows how to make mashed potatoes, but I'm treating it as if you didn't. I hope it helps you. I hope your Thanksgiving dinner comes out fabulous. Leave me a comment and let me know if you tried my recipe and if there's nothing special to it. Just tasting as you go, making sure you don't oversalt it. That's my only secret. I'll see you in my next video for the next recipe. Happy Thanksgiving! Alright, so Thanksgiving dinner is ready. We have the ham right here. We have some mashed potatoes. I haven't made any gravy. I'll probably open up a can and warm it up real quick on the stove. We have some stuffing, and my yams got a little bit burnt. Those are marshmallows on top because I used a broiler and I did not use a timer. So learn from my mistake. Use a timer. Watch your food. But looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner. Babe, can you say thank you, Amanda?
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda, for giving us dinner tonight, and I hope you guys try it and let me know how it comes out. Bye! Happy Thanksgiving!